This is a guide for Agnes Tachyon. I'm going to show you the ways you can build her, how to beat career mode with her, the strategies behind how to get an A rank, and we're going to go through a run where I'll just kind of skip through it and show you some of the things you can do in the run in order to make it easier. And if I get a lucky run, maybe we'll get an A, but I'm not really too worried about that. But I'll show you the strategies to get an A. So she is a medium and long runner. All of her races, if you go in here, they're all either long or they're medium races, which is great, actually. She's not ideal for getting sparks, but she's better than a sprinter is for getting sparks. So one issue she has is she has a B for long, and so you definitely want to get that up to an A with sparks if you can help it, or that could definitely kill your run. So if a lot of you are not able to beat your career, that could be why. You don't have to worry about the late, just keeping pace at A is good. If you have sparks for late, sure, but the main goal would be get sparks to S and turf to S, or at least, did I say sparks? Doesn't pace to S and turf to S, but mainly pace to S, and that just means have some sparks that give pace. And if you don't have them, though, you don't need them, really. It just makes it easier. So she has plus 20% growth rate for speed, which is actually amazing. That makes life way easier. She has 10% for guts, which is basically useless, but the 20% for speed is really going to come in handy with this character. So I'm going to throw these sparks on. I have some pretty mediocre ones. I haven't really been playing the game as much as I should, but we got 2-star across the board for the most part, and we got the long that we need here, hopefully, or definitely is already A. And then we have late surger, which gets us up to A if we need to do late surger to conserve stamina. And then we got some pace chaser in here, so hopefully as we get inspiration, it'll take pace up to S. Pretty good start. I mean, decent. If you better spark, so that's even better. Our affinity is the triangle, which is horrifically bad, but it doesn't really matter for what I'm going to show you here. I should be able to beat career, no problem. And I'll be able to show you the strategies behind how to get high rank with this or build it for PvP. Speaking of which, if you're going to build PvP, you're going to want speed, stamina, power, obviously, maybe a little bit of wit. If you're just trying to cheese and get an A rank, you can try to do speed, wit, and stamina on her, but you have to do stamina on her because she's a long medium racer. So she's not the best for cheesing. Sprinters are better for cheesing for A, so I wouldn't worry too much about getting A with her. I would just build her normally, like for PvP. And if you get the A, you get the A. I wouldn't really use her to try to cheese an A rank. But if you have good sparks and or good support cards, you just play her normally, building for PvP, and you will get an A rank. With these sparks, not so much, unless I get a really lucky run, which is unlikely. I give it like a, I don't know, low chance that we get that lucky of a run. So the builds for her are going to be 3 speed with 2 stamina instead of these powers that I have here. And then you can either go with 1 wit. I can't use access to trainee. 1 wit, and this is kind of like one of the meta builds on the Japanese servers, is people like to do this with the 1 wit, 2 of something, 3 of speed. I don't really like doing this. If you decide to go that route, though, it will make you a more balanced character. But this tends to work better when you have a bunch of good sparks and good support cards, because at that point, you're already going to get your speed and your stamina like close to 1,000 or over 1,000. And so you might as well get some wit in there and save energy at the same time. So you end up with like plus 1,000 speed, over 1,000 stamina, and then you also get like 400, 500 wit. That's one of the main reasons people build this way. But also because this thing, you get a chance to get good stamina back from when this one's on the friendship bonus on wit. The catch is, though, if you don't have a lot of sparks and stuff, then you have dividing your training levels, and you'll end the round with like level 4 speed training, level 3 power training, level 3 wit training, and that could handicap your total stat gains if you don't have enough sparks and support cards to get them up in spite of that. So because of that, if I just want to beat the career mode and get a pretty decent PvP loadout by the end of it, then I would go with this character here, and we have 3 stamina and 3 speed. But the general rule here is either 4 speed and 2 stamina, or 3 speed and 3 stamina. And the reason for this is, in order to get through her career comfortably, basically it goes like this. By the end of the first summer, you're going to want to have your stamina at least at 300, if not 400. And then other than that, you want everything else pumped into speed as much as you can possibly help it. And however much power you get by leveling up that speed is how much power you get, basically. That's kind of the setup for that. And then the end of the second summer, you need to have the stamina at like 500 at least. Ideally over 600, but you can probably get by on 500. And then everything else into speed. And even with that, depending on how your run goes, what sparks you have, what support cards you have and stuff, you might be kind of, you can either be ahead or behind on stats. But then beyond that, there's a humongous element of luck. So even if you're ahead in stats and you're number 1 favorite to win, you can just come in 16th place at like a 5% chance and stuff like that. So that happens. All you can really do is try to circumvent that as much as possible until you have sparks that are so good that almost never happens anymore. That may even happen on this run. We'll see. So with those sparks, they weren't very good. I got 34 speed and 24 power. We got our long aptitude, got late surge or aptitude up in case we need to conserve stamina. Gain 2 inches for shooting for victory. So it's whatever. It's pretty bad. If you have good sparks, we could have started off with like plus 100 or more stats easily, especially with affinity. And that's where sparks really come in handy if you want to get an A rank. So what we want to do is train speed or stamina only, but there are no friendship bonuses on it at all. And there are only 2 on power. And so I'm going to do something. It's up to you. It's not always a good idea. I like to gamble on it, though. Sometimes I'm just kind of a gambler. We need to get our mood up to great for the friendship bonuses on those cards. So I didn't really talk about these, but not friendship bonus, but we need the other one. What is it? Mood effect. So if you get into great mood, this will make it so you get bonus stats regardless of whether it's a speed on speed or power on power. It could be speed on power and you still get this bonus. So if we get to grades 20% plus 30% of 20%, that's 26% or something like that. And it just scales with that. So we want to get our mood up as early as possible. And since all these trainings suck and there's only 2 on power is my only other option, I'll do the recreation. It's wasteful though because it gives... it can give energy back. There's a 66% chance it gives energy back, and there's a 33% chance it gives 2 mood boosts with no energy. And hopefully we get that one. And we did. We got lucky. We got the 33% chance roll, and we got great mood right out of the gate without wasting, free energy gain. And then from there, it's just going to be basically prioritizing stamina or speed unless there's an opportunity that's totally worth doing one of the others, and I'll show you when I see one of those. Also, with events, I generally tend to do anything that will give energy back if I know the events. Depending on the character, I don't know all of her career events, but if you know the career events, then you want to do anything that will give you energy back. Also, here's a good example. There's 2 on speed, so I really, really, really want to do speed, but there's 4 on guts, and guts does give some speed. I don't think... So you think, okay, guts gives speed, that's great. The part that makes me not want to do it so bad, though, is I want to get it from level 1 up to level 5, and it's hard enough to get that for 2 trainings by the end of the career. That's why I really don't want to do guts, but my god, there's 4 of them for friendship training, so I just have to do it. And we got another one here where there's literally none on stamina, none on speed. We got the director on here, but that doesn't really matter that much. But we got 4 on guts, so we're going to do guts again. Then we got a juicy one on stamina. Love to see it. Also, I want to mention the failure rate. So we're at 32% here. There's no good trainings anyway. I need a rest. But generally, the rule of thumb is if it's over 10%, you don't want to risk it unless you're really a gambler. And even at below 10%, it can totally fail. I've literally ruined careers before by having a 3% chance to fail and doing it and then failing. So do it at your own risk. Sometimes I just risk the whole career on it. Like, I've had times before where it's everybody on speed or something, and I'll get like plus 60 speed if I go for it, and it'll be like an 18% chance, and I'll just be like, screw it. And then it fails, and I ruin the whole career because of it, basically. But, you gotta make those choices. It's gambling versus risk-reward. But generally, you don't want to do it if it's over 10% failures, like the general rule of thumb. So now we're coming up to the debut race. Our stats are pretty darn good. On paper, we should win this no matter what, but there's probably like a 5% chance or less, or a 10% chance or less that we just lose anyway. That's kind of just how it goes for a lot of these debut races. Like, you're like, without a ton of really good sparks, there's always like less than 10% chance you just lose them. But I'm the #1 favorite, double circle and all. We're definitely going to want to do pace. Something really important here, a tip for this, for winning these career modes, the less power you have, the further forward position you want to be in. So if I have, like, at the end, like 1,000 power, then being in late or end doesn't matter as long as it's A rank or above. But right now, I only have 135 power, which means it's very hard to pass people. So you want to have as few people in front of you at all times as possible if your power is still low. That's why we're going to do pace here. And that's one thing that can screw you a lot on debut races with a lot of characters. If you go with the lower one and you have no power early, then you get stuck in the pack and can't get past. So at least that's how it goes in the calculation. We're auto-resolving it, but that's like the calculation it makes. I'm looking at the races right now, and so in 16 turns, we need 555 fans by this. We got to race something. What I'm eyeing up right now is in 11 turns, in late December, we have the Hopeful Stakes. The reason we want to do this is a G1 race. If you haven't seen my advanced spark farming guide, basically what happens is every G1 race you win will give you +3 to affinity if this ends up being a good legacy character for sparks. And it'll also give you a chance of getting an additional white spark for this character. So in the off chance that we get a good spark legacy out of this run, we definitely want to try to win every G1 race we can. No guarantees we win it. I can't talk. No guarantees that we win it. But that's the one I'm definitely going to go for to try to get those fans. So we got our first bad luck. We got the random event for Mood down. So we have to try to make a choice now. whether we want to ignore it and hope that we get an event to make the mood go up, or whether we want to just do the recreation at some point and try to make it go back up that way. So I got a good turn opportunity here. It's train speed for this friendship level, or no stamina or anything. The other ones only have 2 on them, so I'm gonna waste the turn and get the recreation. Even though, like, there's a race coming up, and sometimes when you do a race, it'll make your mood go up, but I don't really want to risk missing out on a ton of turns. So it's finally time for that race. We're going to check our skills here and see if there's anything reasonable that we can get. The fatigue mid-race could help, and then we got medium sprint. So it's either preferred position, that's a pretty no-brainer one, or the shooting for victory would be our best bets. So let's take a look at the race. It is a medium. And we have, how much stamina do we have? We have 260 stamina. That's an all right amount. So I'm going to go with this one because there's a hint on it, so it's cheaper. Maybe I'll get a hint on the other one by the time I go to get it later. So let's get that one instead. And hopefully we'll be able to win this one, but without good sparks, it's going to be kind of rough. We're the #1 favorite, but we're not guaranteed at all. So let's see. We get it. Second, of course. Unlucky. So no white sparks for me on that one, and not a lot of fans. And I don't know if it affects skill points or not, actually. But, yeah, so that's super unlucky. But you got to try to go for it. If I had better sparks, I definitely would have gotten first. By the way, if you can help it at the end of each year, try to be missing some energy, because every character is an option to get food instead, and you get 20 energy back. That's my preferred option with the end options like that at the end of each year. Now we got the next objective race, next goal. We are the #1 favorite. We should win this, but we'll see. There we go, first place. I'd say it was about a 90% chance of getting first place. So now it's late March. It's time for our first inspiration. Let's see what we get here. It's going to be pretty bad, I bet. Oh, man, that's really bad. 15 speed, 11 power. That's because we have no affinity. The sparks aren't that great. They're all 2-star, but it's because we have such bad affinity. That's really what killed us there. We didn't get any skill hints or anything. So the next race we have to do is a G1, which is great. Hopefully we win it. We're the #1 favorite. I would say I give about an 80 to 90%, 85% chance to get first place. Okay, and we got. I wouldn't say we got lucky. We got what we deserved, but, you know, we didn't get unlucky. We're coming up on the next race. I'm going to buy the preferred position just to make sure I have enough stamina for the long race that's coming up. So this race is for 20,000 fans. This is going to be the hardest one to get in first place. We're the #2 favorite. I give it, again, like an 80% chance we get first, maybe 75 at the lowest. Let's see if we get lucky. Okay, there we go. First place. So it's early June. This part's important. So summer starts at early July. So you want to try to enter early July with with energy. You don't want to waste your turns of summer in order to you don't want to waste the summer turns in order to rest. So it's like, if you can get it ahead of time, do it, or if you can conserve your energy somehow. So I want to see, maybe if oh god. So I could either do this one and get this character, level up friendship, or I can do this one and get this character. I'm going to do this one, do wit to conserve that energy. And so I got kind of unlucky. So usually my first summer is when I do a luck evaluation in my head. So for you guys, just knowing, like, you guys, I skipped a lot of it, so you don't have to watch like an hour-long video. And I would say at this point, as far as like mood and random bad events and stuff like that, I would say my luck is about an 8 right now on this run. We had that one mood down. There were a few things you guys didn't see where it made my energy go down, but nothing too insane. But then when it comes to the friendships, oh man, it's been a brutal run. It's been, I would give it about a 4 out of 10 on friendships. Like, I entered summer and we still have these two not leveled up. And I was willing to go out of my way, and I did a few times for it, but most turns, if not almost all the turns, it'd be like 1 on stamina, 1 on speed, 2 on guts. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to go for guts just to do 2 friendship. We got to get these, stamina and speed levels up. So that's kind of been the situation. That's like the checkpoint. So right now we have this weird choice, 28 and 11 on speed, or 20 and 10 on stamina. And even though it's less on stamina, it's going to allow me to get these friendship levels up. One of them up to orange and the other one almost to orange. So I might as well do that. It might pay off next turn if I'm lucky. So next turn, no stamina, but on speed we have this one, and the other one, we're not going to be able to get that one up to orange, I think, with this. I don't think it's enough. Yeah, not enough, unfortunately. And now we're at this weird, we got a 30% chance to fail, and this is where the game loves to be a dick, basically. So because my energy's low, of course, it gave me all 4 on stamina, which would have been super nice to do, and it would have gotten this one's friendship level up. But it's just not worth the risk at that high of a percent of failure. I don't want to risk the whole. It's a pretty good career. The overall luck's like a 6.5 or something, maybe a 7 at best. and I don't want to just throw a career like that away. And then unlucky on the last turn as well. We only have one friendship bonus. It's on speed. It's better than no friendship bonuses, though. So I finally hit the point. All the friendships are maxed, so now I'm going to try to, as best as I can, only do stamina and speed. Also, this event, this happens depending on the support card and stuff, but you might have a variation of this event. It's basically, do I eat like crazy or do I not eat a lot? And this is basically an energy regen. Something to know about this event, this is a really good event. I always go for whatever option is basically sounds like eating as much as possible. But just know, there's like, from my experience, a 1 in 6 chance maybe, or 1 in 8 chance that that'll get you the slow metabolism debuff, which is something horrible. But the odds are so in your favor that it gives 30 energy. I always take the gamble. Like, it's just totally worth it in my opinion. So now we got to do a long, and something we can do. We have 389 stamina, which is more than enough. But something we can get here that'll apply to the medium and the long races, we can get hydrate, which I have. I just happen to have. You won't necessarily have it. But whether it's a long or medium, it'll apply because it's pace chaser. So that'll help out. We are the number 2 favorite with 2 triangles and a double circle. I would put my odds of winning this one at around, again, around 80, 85%, but no guarantees. Let's see what happens. All right, we got first. That's what we deserve, but, you know, our stats aren't that great right now. Like, we're doing okay on stats, but we're not where I'd like to see us be at the end of the first summer. Like, at the end of the first summer, if I'd had better friendship trainings, it's possible, even with these bad sparks, I could have ended, right now, if I would have had better sparks and better friendship trainings, or let me say it a different way. If I had the same sparks, but better friendship training luck, I could have 600 speed and like 450 stamina instead. Like, that's totally possible just based off the luck of friendship trainings at this point. Also, something to keep in mind, so these choices now, like right now, I don't have a friendship bonus on either. It's speed or stamina. There's one on each, but this one has the director on it. You do want to try to level up the director's friendship over the course, but you don't want to go out of your way to do it. But if there's a choice like that, definitely take it, because if you get her level up to max, then you get 15 to all stats at the end of the career if you beat the URA finale. Also, there's a thing that happens, and I swear, dude, I swear this is programmed into the game. I'm like, wow, finally a decent training. I get plus 40 speed. This is the first time I've had 2 friendship bonuses the entire run. I was like, wait a minute. There must be a race going on that I forgot about. And sure enough, there's the chance for the 30,000 fans on this medium race on Tokyo turf. I'm like, oh my god. If I'm farming sparks, I need to take this no matter what. But it decreases the chance of getting an A just because I'm missing out on this training. So these horrible choices to make. I'm going to go with the race. I'm probably going to come in second place because that's just like the curse of how this goes. But if you were trying to farm sparks, you want to do this race. Also, it will get you 30,000 fans or more if you win. And that will get your, yeah, there we go. I got first place. I have like an 80% chance to win, but for some reason, whenever I do these races and I'm number 1 favorite to win, I just lose them. It happens like way more than the goal races. I don't know why. I think it's just programmed. I really genuinely think it's programmed in after doing like 100 runs like that. It happens so often. It's just, I don't know. It is what it is. Dude, what am I telling? Like, what I tell you guys? Like, look, double training with both the stamina ones on it. Guess what's happening this turn? Another 30,000 fan G1 race. Literally, it's just what happens, man. So I could do this, but I have to do it again next year. So if it was for the fans, I would do it. But the thing is that this is I can't get a green spark from this character. So I don't really care about leveling up unique skills or anything from that standpoint. I don't know. I'm just going to ignore it and go for the speed. But then also I'm a 20% failure on speed, come to think of it. So screw it. We're going for the race because that has less of an effect on the race than it does on the training. So we'll see if we can get lucky on this one. Number 1 favorite to win again. This time we got first. Okay, at least we got decent luck on that one. Then we got this luck. I'm going to say the one that sounds like taking a break because I want that energy regen. So we're at a point here. It's early February, and we're not even at 600 speed and 600 stamina or 700 speed and 500 stamina or something like that. So at this point, I'm changing the goal. This is something where you're going to have to do this too when playing this. I'm still going to beat the URA finale unless I get like just stupid unlucky. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus more on just getting speed and stamina to 600, which it should happen no matter what. But that's like my main... I'm going to reduce my goal in my head, and I would recommend if you in this scenario, you do the same thing. It's like, okay, not getting an A rank on this run, that's fine. Let's just make sure that we get our chance for good sparks. Now we got the next G1 race we got to do. Okay, first place. Now we have our next inspiration, which is going to be terrible with these sparks. So we ended up with speed 37, power 10, and then I didn't even get to see the other ones before they got scrolled out. Okay, we got pace chaser to S and long to S. So that's pretty good. We'll take those. So we were having good campaign luck and horrible, terrible friendship luck Well, our first career luck finally kind of kicked in there. We got 2 mood downs, one turn after another. Now we're down to normal mood. So now I'd say career luck, we're at like a 6.5 out of 10 and maybe a 7 at best. And then as far as friendship and timing luck of the training, we're at like a 2 out of 10. Like the friendship stuff and all this has been one of the worst runs I've had in like a day or two. Now we have another medium race. We're the #1 favorite again. Probably 80-90% chance of first. Got first. And now it's time for the summer training. First turn, no luck. We're going to do stamina, though. Second turn, horrible luck still, but we're going to do stamina. Third turn, just kind of luck, but at least it's been consistent with friendship training, sort of. Well, the first one didn't have friendship training, so it's honestly terrible summer. And then also, terrible choice, but we have to rest anyway. So that summer was like a 4 out of 10, maybe 5 out of 10. Just meh, whatever summer, not great. Got more bad luck. We had an event that could give us energy, but it gave us the slow metabolism thing. So we're going to test our luck and try to get rid of it. Hopefully it actually gets rid of it. So we went to the infirmary and it did get rid of it. So that is what it is. Now we have our next medium race. #1 favorite by far. Say like 90% chance of first place. Got first place. Got more bad luck. We got a mood down for no reason. And the training is still just like mediocre. So now it's time for the second Arima Keenan, and our stats are abysmal. So something we can do is green skills up here are really good when you feel like there's a race that you might not be able to beat and you don't want to have to use an alarm clock. So this one is a right-handed track. We can check to see the weather is sunny with winter. So what we can do here, so I'm feeling a little bit sketched out about this because my stats are still, we're only like a 70% chance of winning this maybe. So I'm going to increase the performance on right-handed tracks, and that's the only one that's going to apply. I'm going to gamble and just put 1 point in that. I just want an edge. So these things are like generally, they're not horrible, but they're like extra good for just in career because you just use them on a race that you think you might struggle with just to get a little edge like that. So we're going to get into this. We're going to see #3 favorite, like I said, probably like a 70, maybe 80% chance of first place. Let's say 80 maybe? Okay, yeah, we got first. But that one was a little scary to me because like this run is really behind. The friendship train. I have not gotten a single 3 friendship training the entire run. I don't know if I've gotten a 2 friendship training the entire run. I think I might have had like 1, maybe 2 max. So that's how bad it's been. Like normally by now on a reasonable run, you'll have done friendship training where there's 3 of the same type, like at least 2 or 3 times minimum, if not 4. And then you'll have the double ones at least like 5 or 6 times or 7 times, maybe, I don't know, like 10 times. Like, and I probably had double friendship trainings like twice, maybe 3 times max. That's why our stats are so low. That's literally how it caused it. Now we have the URA Finale qualifier. I'm not going to buy any skills before this one because this is the easiest of the 3. I want to see what the other ones are, what their weather is, stuff like that. So #6 favorite, that is not accurate. We are very likely to win, although we did not win. Okay. Let's try again. This is where we're getting in a rough spot. We are so far behind, but let's see if we get first now. There we go, first. So I didn't want to have to use an alarm clock, but honestly, if I wasn't doing a video, I would just end the career and start over on a new run. I mean, this run's abysmal. I got 600. We're good for the Spark Farm, and I would just end it and not care about winning, but we're going to try to see if we can get to the end here just for the video. I'm going to do recreation here to hopefully get energy and mood, which is the likely thing. That way I can do a training on the last turn and have mood at great, which is good for the races. So we're far enough behind now that I'm going to take a look here. We are going to do it's left track, unfortunately, and it's sunny weather in winter, which I don't have any green skills for any of that, I think. And then for her races, they're 2,000, so that is a multiple of 400. This run is so far behind, I don't really care. We're not getting an A rank, so I'm going to get this skill because it's going to help us win these races, and we need an edge with how bad we got with friendship bonuses. It was so bad. It was like the most abysmal. I honestly, 2 out of 10 luck, maybe? I would say 2 out of 10 luck. That's how bad the friendship trainings were from all my experience of doing this. #8 favorite, that is not accurate, but no, not at an 80% chance of first. We're at like a 60, 70%. I'd say we're at a 70% chance of first on that, realistically. Like, that was kind of a rough one. Maybe 80. Maybe it was 80. It's hard. I'm just guessing based off experience. I don't really know for sure. There's no way I can just know those numbers. And last turn, no friendship training again for like the millionth time on this run. So this last one is 2,000 meters, and it is a right-handed track. So we're so far behind. We're definitely going to grab this right-handed track one. And hopefully between all that, that'll make up for our horrible skill deficit. Right now, if we would have had reasonable friendship trainings, right now, the way this should have ended was we should have had about 1,100 speed, about 600-700 stamina, maybe 800, and we'd have like 600 power. That's like if you have reasonable, good friendship training bonuses. That's what you should expect. with the setup and the cards and stuff that I had and the bad sparks I had and stuff. If you have good sparks, you'd be even further than that. Good sparks, you're aiming for 1200 or something. But number 8 favorite, not true. I don't know what it is, but it's higher than 50%. So let's see what happens. Hopefully I don't have to use an alarm clock. There we go, got first. So you can see what that one alarm clock I had to use. That was the easiest of the 3 races. So that one probably only had like a 10% chance or less, and it just rolled it. I have no idea, but either way, we got legend, and we beat the career with only 1 alarm clock, and it was overall an absolutely horrible career though. So you see with if you do all the stuff that I was showing you in this video, you kind of follow along some and just take it from what I've done and stuff. You can see that even if you have god-awful, terrible friendship luck, you can still just beat the career mode fairly consistently with this character using the builds and different things that I used here. So I just wanted to make a video to help you guys out with that. Let's see what our final result is here. So we ended up with 879 speed, 674 stamina. Absolutely horrific. This is going to be a B, maybe a C plus even. This is so bad. Like, this is literally the worst run I've had in ages. So we're going to see here, we're going to get that. And I don't know, I'm just going to throw something into firm ground, I guess. Or maybe rainy weather, actually. And then, yeah, go for that. And because I don't really care what this character ends up with, we're going to complete the career and hope for the sparks. Maybe we'll get a good spark run. Let's see. So here it comes. We got, is it C+? Oh, we got a B, just barely. Oh, no, actually by a decent amount. Okay. Oh, better than I thought. And then we got the speed spark. Wow. So we got the speed spark, and it was 45% chance to be a 1-star. We got the 1-star, of course. And you see here for the races, we got the white sparks from those races. Those were all 2-star. If this would have been a 2-star speed, it actually would have been a decent spark for now. Obviously, I would prefer 3-star, but it was only a 5% chance. But yeah, if only I could have gotten to 1100, we would have had an 80, or is it 80? Is it? Yeah, 80% chance of getting 2 or 3-star combined. But unfortunately, we weren't able to get speed up because of just insane bad luck. Hopefully, this will help you out, guys. Now you know how to build this character, beat the career mode, how to build it for PvP, how to build it for an A rank and stuff. So yeah, it's really just about getting good support cards, getting good sparks, and having a good run. You see there that with bad sparks and just mediocre support cards and a bad run, I got halfway to B+, and I got high enough speed and stamina for a decent roll for sparks. So made the best of a bad situation, but either way, beat the career mode, no problem with that. So hopefully this will help you out, guys. Now you know how to build this character and how to like build PvP with it, how to beat career with it, how to work towards an A rank with it in Uma Musume Pretty Derby.